Let me start that over. A little bit of a tongue twister today. Hello, hello, hello. We are live. Welcome to another live coaching with me, Graham Ezzy. Whew, I don't know what number this is. And yeah, we are going to dive. I need to post in the group a little update. You guys, if you're not in the group, you can go to Facebook. It's facebook.com/group/Ezzy coaching. That's us. And you can post your questions, videos, photos, concerns, wins, pretty much anything related to windsurfing, to life, to getting better, to getting off the plateau, whether it's a struggle, a success, a question, a concern. It's a great place to discuss it. If you're going on a trip somewhere and you're curious about what the local conditions are like, the group is a great place to ask. We have people from all over the world. We've got almost 7,000 people. And so wherever you're going, there's probably someone that's either been there or lives there. So if you need advice, and of course, as we started, the core purpose of the group is getting better on windsurfing. But there's so much there. We got Frisky joining us in the chat. Frisky, where are you joining us from? Let us know. If you're joining us, let us know where you are. Did you get on the water this week? How is it going? A little bit of housekeeping stuff before we dive into the Facebook group and answer your questions. If you want to level up, we are offering a lot more now on the Windsurfing Masterclass platform. So you can go to windsurfingmasterclass.com and then click here in the middle to enter the learning portal. Or if you just go to my.windsurfingmasterclass.com, it will also take you here. And there are three main courses. Fast Tack Secrets, which has been around now for a couple years. It is super successful for teaching the tack. I'm blown away by how much this has improved the tax of the people who took the course. Fast Tax Secrets is tried and true. You will improve your tack if you go through this, if you do the exercises, if you do it for 4 to 6 weeks, you'll see improvements. Do it for longer, you'll see more improvements. All right, what's new? There are two new things: Learn to Loop and Pro Mindset Secrets. Let's dive into Pro Mindset Secrets. Pro Mindset Secrets. This is a cool course because it takes the secrets and the mindset of the pro and it just unlocks it for everyone. If you've done an in-person masterclass with me, these concepts are going to be very familiar. So if you are curious about doing an in-person masterclass and are curious about some of the concepts, take this course. If you've done a bunch of in-person masterclasses with me, this course is not for you. You've already learned most of these concepts or you've heard me talk about them. This course is mainly for people who have not taken an in-person masterclass with me. Also, if you take the forward course, uh, a lot of this stuff, not all of it, but a lot of it is included in that course. And so if you're enrolled in the forward course, this is also not for you. This mindset part is, I think, very, very important. And so I included it as a bonus in the forward course. And I think if you sign up for this, you even get a discount on the forward course. So they end up being, you get this one for very little practically if you buy them both. But most of the content is in the forward course. And that brings us to the forward course, Learn to Loop. Learn to Loop. I love this video. This is a POV video. I've got the camera on my head. This is me at Hokipa going past Ricardo. This is just a bunch of good forward loops in this little video. And this course took me a long time to make, took years to come up with the strategy. And it's a deep dive into the forward. It provides a framework for how to train for it. So if you want to learn to loop, if you're scared of looping, this is great for you. We teach the no fear forward philosophy. You have drills to do at home, on the water. It's It's cool. I'm very happy that this is out. It's a process that works. Take your time. It's not about just going up and cheating in. It's about really understanding the loop, going through the exercises, building skills. So the reason for the drills is that we want to build skills. And once you have the skills, then the loop gets a lot easier. And so one of the problems is people get ahead of themselves by trying to do the loop without having the skills. All right, I recommend just signing up if you want a loop. If you want a little free trial, I set one up. So just scroll down here. You can sign up for the free preview, and you got to put in your information. And you get the free preview. You get, we can see, I think, what you get in there. It's a pretty juicy. No, I don't think we can see what you get. I thought it shows up here somewhere. Anyway, you get some good content. It's not like you're just getting the welcome video or something. There's an explanation of the Know For Your Journey, some myths and misunderstandings. So if you're not ready to commit to being a looper, but you're curious, I recommend signing up for the free preview. And yeah, there's some good content in there. All right, let's get to the chat. All right, we already got a pretty good group in the chat. I was busy talking about all these courses. We got Matt with 2 light wind sessions this weekend. Matt, what were you working on in the light wind sessions? We got Suna, and he says there's a vacuum, no wind. Ragnar, no wind this week, enjoying the forward loop online course. Ragnar also did some private lessons with me in Pozo and on the forward. It was so cool watching his progress. That was a highlight for me. We got Axel in Munich. Hello, Axel. Mark as well. Frisky had a session in South Italy. Where in South Italy? I love Italy. I've never windsurfed in Italy. I would love to combine going to Italy with windsurfing in Italy. Tell me where. I want to go to Sardinia. It's on my bucket list. But where else? I've seen good video of Sicily. I've seen good video from Puglia. Where are you? Where are you, Frisky? We got Graham in the chat. 5 knots to 15 knots, cross off sailing. Fun but tricky. Where is that? I know that often, Graham, you're sailing some of the more onshore spots. Uh, where'd you get out in cross off? That sounds fun but tricky. We got Dom Dom as well. Dom Dom is signed up for the Pro Mindset course. And it's funny because Dom Dom, you're such a legend of this community, but you haven't done any of the in-person coaching. And so a lot of these concepts I think are probably fresh for you. And it's cool. I was excited when I saw that you'd signed up for it. So that's cool. All right, we got Jorg in the chat, and he's trying to recover from a ripped tendon. Ouch. Frisky's going to take the forward. Awesome. I want to hear who else is going to. I want to hear who else is going to take the forward, or just take on the forward. Not even my course, but is trying to learn the forward, wants to learn the forward. We got Kevin. He says 2 sessions this week down the line. Nice. All right. We got some footage in the group too. Matt has been working on the light wind tax. Axel has had 2 Alex has had 2 max 3 days. Whew, that's gnarly. Try to switch to backwinded. Yeah, that's a good exercise, the lee side riding. All right, let's get into the Facebook group. Graham has been in Moisenberg. That's cool. West wind. I don't think I've ever experienced that. Awesome. I must have sailed west wind somewhere. I feel like I've had a west wind session. Where could it be? I want to say like Kamaki Long Beach. Could that be? All right, let's get into it. So again, the courses. There are new courses on the platform. If you know someone that would benefit from the Pro Mindset course, Fast Tack course, or the Learn to Loop course, send it to them. I think that there is value in sharing these things. It's not about keeping all the info to ourselves. It's cool when we see our friends progress. So share it with them. Don't try to hold them back by keeping it a secret. All right, so let's get into it. We got a lot in the Facebook group this week. First up is Kevin saying he's looking forward to going through his footage, and then he's got a session. And here's his footage. So, all right, here's the video. Details are all right. Are we in a good position? Hold on, I gotta move this up. There we go. Move it in the middle. All right, there. Now you guys can see it better. We got Axel in Hamburg. Moin moin. Good sailing last weekend. All right, so here's the details. Second session, putting the fast tack secrets into practice. Nice. So Kevin, you're in the fast tack secret course. Love it. Trying to erase some bad habits. Yeah, definitely is the case. If you've been tacking or trying to tack for a long time, you might have some bad habits, and you just have to drill them out. A lot of getting better on the tacks is learning the footwork like a dance. So you can do it in your sleep. You can do it perfectly, knowing exactly how far to step each time because you've practiced it so much. And you can do that practice at home. In the Fast Act course, we go through how to do that practice. And yeah, so first time on the water, overwhelmed, thinking of everything. Yeah, so I think this is true for everyone. And this is actually one of the things that we talk about in the pro mindset comes up. Let's see if we can see the curriculum, which is in the key image learning. And so one of the things with key image training is that you focus on one thing at a time, one thing at a time. A session is just for focusing on one thing. And if you're trying to focus on a lot of things, it's focusing on no things. So Kevin was focusing on speed and going early. Cool. Everything else was automatic and make some tacks, even though they were wet. Cool. All right. So let's watch some of them. So Kevin is in the course. That looks solid. We're starting off with a solid tack. Way to go. Way to go. Look at that. Just solid. Solid, solid. Moving the hand close to the harness lines. Good technique there. Getting around, fighting through it. Chin to chest, coming out. Yeah, these look solid. These look solid. A little bit rushing. One thing that is important is to really take your time on the other side. So what we say is count to 5 to stay alive. You don't have to rush off right away. Find your balance. And for a lot of people, that is the difference between making the tack and not. And so instead of rushing to sail away, giving yourself some time, count to 5, get balanced, and then sail away. Cool. All right. Next up, next video from Kevin. And so he's got a few turns and conditions, soft, fat waves, crumbly with random sections. The objective. I love this. Conditions, objective, summary. Nice. I like this way of thinking about it. Getting over the fear of hitting the white water, shooting out more, especially on the top turn. Yeah. And hitting the white water to avoid, or doing that when hitting the white water. Working on timing the top turns and trying to get more vertical where he can. He feels he's getting more confidence. The bottom turn feels smoother. Timing feels better, but could be more aggressive. All right, so let's go through it from the beginning. I love seeing the progress. Um, Meanwhile, Frisky says, from Bari, Puglia, the best wave spot in Puglia are Porto, Cesario, and Ionian side with south wind, and Frasanito in the Adriatic side. Lots of good spots. Okay, so Kevin, I'm going to tell you something you probably already know, which is that you are good enough to hit this. This is the perfect example of a corner pocket section coming at you. Corner pockets are always coming at you, so that's a little bit redundant, but it's the corner pocket section. And I want you to sail right into this thing with your board, put the bottom of your board, high five position in the curl of the wave. You are good enough. It will catch your board, that energy will transfer, pow, from the wave into the bottom of the board, projecting you forward. This is the perfect kind of section. It looks like from your footage, you get a lot of days like this. I want to see you putting that board in the curl, and you'll come out with so much speed. It's one of the best feelings you can have in windsurfing. So really hitting that section. So you hit that, great to see. Nice, building up the confidence on the white waters. I want to see you hit the curl as well. You just got to get the board angle so that the bottom of the board is the exact same angle as the lip. Beautiful. All right. Is that the end of this one? All right. Here's another wave coming into it. Looks like this first section is the one with the most energy. Nice. Coming up more vertically. Going for another one. So I think getting the high five, really getting comfortable with that high five feeling, which you're starting to get, is going to make a big difference with everything because you'll have more confidence in your bottom turn because you'll know that the wave is going to do the work to turn you around in the cutback. And if you don't have that confidence, what happens is you hesitate in the bottom turn because you're thinking, oh, I've got to get going back the other way. Uh, and so then you start not pushing as hard, you're not driving as vertical. And so getting that high five feeling and confidence is going to go a long way to getting the bottom turns more vertical as well. But really good direction that we can see. I can see that you're sheeting out more. Nice U-turns. You're aiming tight in. I like these carving turns. Keep going in that direction. Sheet out even more. Aim tighter. And yeah, try and hit those curls. Try and hit those sections. All right, we got a lot of wins this month. I love it. I love reading these wins. I love going through all of them. So we're going to go through that. Here's the comment from Frisky, by the way. Also very cool to see. Love learning about new spots. I think people who are not familiar with Italy don't think that Italy gets good windsurfing. Italy gets great windsurfing in Puglia, where Frisky is from, but also around Rome. I've seen video of great windsurfing in Sicily, in Sardinia. It's kind of incredible how good it gets and also how under the radar it is. I hope I'm not spoiling something. All right, Dennis in the chat, one of the OG members of this community. Good to have you here, Dennis. Thank you for showing up with a session, a couple sessions, free rides, some waves. All right, the wins. Let's go through the wins, all the comments. So Stefan says he got to windsurf after being locked away at work 6 out of 6 days in roads. Awesome. Some swells, practicing jumping. Fractured a rib getting catapulted. Ouch. We got Johan said fast tacks are printed into the muscle memory. Nice. That's awesome. I love hearing that. So it's like I said, fast tacks, getting them down, it's like a dance. Once you get the muscle memory, once you get the muscle memory, it all falls into place. Kevin had his first tacking session after going through the Fast Tack Secrets course and doing the dry land exercise. Only did 3 jibes in an hour. That's one of the tips from the course is if you want to learn how to tack, don't jibe. Tacks felt awkward, but embracing it. Yeah, embracing learning, embracing the awkward feeling, definitely the way to go to getting better. Max said, got a few cheeky hours on a 100-liter board with a 5.7. Nice. 3 outside tacks and 1 inside. Nice. Anko was windsurfing in Croatia. Whoa. Power jibe works. Fast tack, so la la. I don't understand what that means, but I like it. Juice landed his first Vulcan. Sweet. I love it. Awesome. Awesome, Juice. All right. Is it use? I love it. This is great. Congrats. So cool. All right. Ellen got into the foot straps for the first time. Big game changer. That is big. Way to go. All right. Brendan said came out dry on some planing jibes. Pretty sure qualified for the Colorado acrobatic team. Nice. Jorgen said made a backwinded tack first time and struggled to make the fast tacks. Interesting. I feel like a backwinded tack is harder than a fast tack. They're connected, but good job putting in the work. All right, next up, We got Jokin said 6 days in a row while it's on holiday in Scotland. That's cool. 6 days in Scotland. Love it. Mark is made his first heli tag. That's cool. So Mark, when he first came on one of our master classes, had never tried a tack before, and now he's doing heli tags. We got to start making the heli tag course, I guess. Maybe Mark can teach it. Mark can come up. Mark can be the instructor for the heli tag course online. All right. Jan says he's not going insane, even though he's not getting in the water. And Axel had some sailing in Blavand, backside, frontside combos. I've never sailed in Blavand. I've thought about it, looked at it, never happened. Is it good? How is Blavand? Let us know in the chat if you've windsurfed there. Jim Hepworth went to Pozo, nice. Dom landed a back loop on both tacks. And he hasn't landed a starboard tack 1 in years. I don't know why this video isn't working now. I watched this video before, and now it's not working. I don't know why. Huh. We're going to come back to this, Dom. I'm going to go through and then see if we can watch it. Dennis says, these two forward loops sent 1 week apart, one starboard tack, the other port tack, and no specific focus, just muscle memory. They're not flawless, but they gave a picture of where he is in both tacks. Okay, there's some issue. Why are these videos not playing? Why are these videos not playing? Let me see if I can work that out. I'm going to try to play them after we go through all the comments. I think maybe the problem is I'm in this pop-up. So Tavi said he took out the foil board that's been standing in the corner as an interior design element, and had fun on the wind foil board. Fun. Dan had a summer session in the UK and 2 sessions cross off. Nice. And Alex had a big wave day on Monday. Alex, if you're still in the chat, I want to see the pictures. These days sound huge. I know you've got some pictures. Well, I hope you have some pictures, I should say. Post them in the group. I want to see them. I want to see the pictures. I want to see the pics. All right, let's see if we can watch these videos. I'm going to close. All right, so now the videos are working. We're going to try to watch what we can. Okay, that goes full screen. I got to adjust this so then you guys can see it. All right. Let's see if this works. It's always an experiment around here. All right. Ooh, look at this beautiful footage. Look how clean those waves are. Oh, there's not a chop in sight. Not a chop in sight. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. So I would love to see you on this last section just ram up and hit this thing. You're a little bit late, but sometimes it's safer to go full up into it rather than do this where then it catches you. Seems like it worked out. Oh, going for the forward loop. Love it. Love it. Key thing here I love to see is looking back in the direction of the rotation. Oh, nice. Look at that corner pocket. That was a corner pocket to hit, and you hit it. Look at that. Boom. So if you want to make this, you need to be more in the power source. So the power source is here, is right here. And so you're just a little bit too early, little bit misplaced. If you hit it exactly like you're doing here, high 5 position, but right here, you're going to get kicked right back into the wave. But like this, throws you around. But maybe you're going for a goiter. I'm not sure what you're going for. In which case, maybe you didn't want to hit the power source. But same thing, if you want to land goiters back in front of the wave, you got to hit it where the wave is throwing. You got to hit it in the power source. Boom. There. Look at that. Hitting the corner pocket. That's what we love to see. I've been looking for this the whole live coaching. Look at this. Look at this. Coming up, corner pocket. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3. Easy peasy. All right. Next up, let's watch the foiling video from Tavi. Tavi, has your little face always been here on the side of the videos? This view feels new to me. It's interesting. It's kind of funny seeing the nose and the mouth there. It's like somehow it doesn't feel real. It feels like you've put a filter or something on the video. But anyway, it looks fun. Looks like fun foiling. But I don't know, for some reason this is looking funny to me. All right, let's see if we can watch Dom Dom's video. Here we go. Now it's working. Let's go full screen from the beginning. Dom Dom, boom, up, over the shoulder, landing it, managed to save it. You could have come a little bit more around here, but it also just goes to show how little you need to rotate on the back loop. Like, this is the teeniest, tiniest amount of rotation, almost less than a 180, I would say, less than a 180. But sailing out of it, perfect. Bam, bam, bam. Port tack, your normal tack, coming around, spotting the landing on the nose. Bam, solid. I love that. I love seeing that like like proud claim hook in, where you hook in and you're just so stoked that you made it. That's such a good feeling. Uh all right, where was the other clip that we want to see? Here it is. Dennis's. All right, let's see. Boom. Action going on there. I feel like boom. That's solid. This is solid. I like this. I like this. I feel like there's some change here. I'd have to look at the forwards that you posted. I think the last post was a month ago. Uh, boom. Got some height on that one. Look at the height on this. You can see how much height you have when you're coming out. You're still pretty far up there, landing solid on the board. It's so good for your brain and your windsurfing to do forwards on both tacks or do all the moves on both tacks. I think it's good to learn on one tack and then the other, not try to learn on both at the same time. Some people do like learning on both at the same time. That's not for me. I'm curious, you guys, if you have an experience, let us know in the chat, learning on one side versus the other. On starboard tack, Dennis, you're doing a really good job of getting the head over the shoulder. You're getting the sail leaned into the wind. There's so much of the technique that I can see being put into practice. And I would love to know how that feels. We've been working on this technique for the last 5 years, and it's so cool watching this video because I can see it and it looks so refined. I can see the sail coming over. I can see the board pushing down. I can see your head looking back. Yeah, the technique looks like it's really come together. Um, Port deck as well. Head could look more over the shoulder, but and a little bit more push with that front arm. But still solid, 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 solid. Lots of confidence. You've got a lot of height coming out of this thing. If you're looking over your shoulder, this is nothing new. This is nothing that I haven't told you already. If you're looking over your shoulder, you'll be able to see your landing, which will help make this less scary because you know exactly where you are. But you're doing a good job. Doing a good job holding it together. Uh, I love seeing this. This is so cool. For people who aren't aware, Dennis has been on the forward perfection journey for the last 5 years. So he could do forwards when he started with this Windsurfing Masterclass project, but this technically is such a huge change. It's so cool to see, and it must feel good. You must feel good. Must feel good. I mean, does it feel good? Let us know. I don't mean to put words in your mouth. All right, let's keep going. So Tavi says, So the video is to get more into the frame. Yeah, it looks cool. I like it. I like different angles. If you also want to improve your anything, Pro Mindset Secrets is for you. Teaches you how to train. I'm spilling the beans. How does how do the pros do it? And yeah, so I'm bridging that gap from pro knowledge to you. And if you want to learn to loop, then go to my Windsurfing Masterclass, my.windsurfingmasterclass.com, or just windsurfingmasterclass.com. And then you go to here to go into the learning portal and check out the Learn to Loop course. If you're ready to start looping right now, uh, not looping, but to start the journey right now, you can just start, just click here. And if you want to go and sign up for the free preview, I encourage you to do so. And it's just all on the same page. If you go to learntoloop.com, should also take you there. Learntoloop.com. Yeah, it takes you here. For the TAC course, it should go to learntotac.com. Also should work. Testing it live. Does that also work? Might not. I might not have set that up. But learntoloop.com definitely works if you want to learn to loop. All right, let's get back to the Facebook group. So we went through the wins, and now this is cool. This is from the gorge, and Chris. Oh, this is so cool. We were talking about the gorge. la- We were talking about the gorge last time, and yeah, it's just such a fun place to windsurf. It's like a skate park. You've got all these swells and the wind and ramps. Uh, it's so cool. I love this footage, and this is filmed by uh, Chris, who is in our community. Some shove-its, some carves on the waves. It's a fun place to sail. It's been a while since I've been there, but I always had a lot of fun. I spent a couple summers there. Not the full summer, but maybe a month to that over 2 summers. So I know it fairly well. I'm not an expert, but I've put in my share of time. Very cool. Very cool. Another video as well. Because the angles are different and the way that the swell comes in is different, the moves end up looking different. Some of them look similar, but things like push loops, I think, look really different in the gorge because of the way that the angles are and the way that the ramps are. Some of the forwards also look kind of different. A feeling that I had riding there, sometimes you'll take off on a little ramp and it doesn't feel like you'll get that high, but then there's such a big trough behind the ramp that you end up having a lot of real height. And if the photo is taken from the other side of the swell that you're taking off on, you can really see that height. So that's maybe an example. Like if we look at this one, let's go back and look at it. So I'm not sure who this is, but he's going to take off. It's not the biggest ramp, but then there's quite a trough behind it because other wave starts sucking up. Yeah, cool footage. I love the gorge. All right, Dom Dom has a question. If you have a question, you can post it in the chat. I encourage you to do it. I encourage everyone. So Dom Dom is asking a question about a video I posted about fear and dealing with commitment. So I did a a long time ago, another lifetime. I had when I was doing my Patreon and I was writing articles related to coaching every month, which Dom Dom you were part of, Dennis you were also part of. There was a good group of people involved, and I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed writing the articles, but it was just too much work. It was like I was making a magazine, just me every month, and it wasn't sustainable for me to keep up that rate of writing, and also with the number of subscribers that we had. I can't remember exactly what it was. Um, I think I was making. It's not like I was making nothing, but it wasn't enough for it to be my full time job, and it ended up being kind of like a full time job with how much I had to write, and so then I put it in the back burner. I would like to start that up again if enough people are interested, or if there's a different format. I really enjoyed writing those articles. But anyway, Dom Dom. So what you're thinking of? It was an interview with Alex Honnold, and my analysis of it, and he was talking about how he deals with fear. If you don't know who Alex Honnold is, I recommend watching his movie where he climbed El Capitan. What is that called? Alex Honnold Cap Cap movie. Um, Free Solo. Yeah, amazing movie. You can watch this with your kids. I watched this movie with my kids when they were like 5 years old, and they also loved it. Kind of scared at some points. Uh, can you just watch it on nationalgeographic.com? I'm not sure. Streaming. This is the trailer. Oh, it's on Disney Plus. I don't have Disney Plus. I'm sure there's other places you can stream it. Anyway, great film, amazing climber, and there was an interview that he gave about fear, and I really loved what I heard because it was so different than a lot of things that I've heard people say. And Alex deals with here. I just got to show you some of the stuff he's doing. Alex deals with a lot of fear. Um, and here, let's just watch some of what he's doing. And so he's climbing this with no no ropes. He's not hooked in. He's just climbing. It's wild, what he's doing, what he's dealing with. But anyway, so what is so interesting about the interview that I end up writing about in that little Patreon magazine era. And one of the things that stuck out, and Dom Dom, thank you for bringing this up. I think I'll put it in the pro mindset course because this relates to mindset. It's very relevant. So I'm going to put it in there, pull it out of the archives from the Patreon, original Patreon post. And by the way, we also migrated all of those Patreon posts to a community on the Windsurfing Masterclass platform, and some of you guys are in there. Some of you have access to it. I can open that up again. At the moment, I'm not taking new subscribers to it, but I could open it up. It's a great way to support these live streams, support the Facebook community. But anyway, so what Alex was saying is that he does a lot of negative visualization, and I'd never heard that before. I've heard people talk about positive visualization. They visualize their success and their exact route and everything. And I've tried a bit of that working with sports psychologists in windsurfing. Hasn't been helpful for me. And so it was not uh um yeah, like I don't know. I expect if someone starts talking about visualization, which then he starts talking about visualization, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I've tried that. It doesn't work for me. But then he says negative visualization. So he's imagining, he goes through these visualizations where he's falling, where he slips and he falls. By the way, just how amazing is this climb? Just look at what he's doing. He's climbing this crack with no ropes, nothing, no support. I mean, talk about fear, confidence, stakes. And so he imagines himself falling, imagines himself slipping, imagines himself dying, and doing all of these visualizations, going through those scenarios. And if you come from the positive psychology world, which is like, manifest your destiny, you're like, what are you doing? Don't visualize falling. You got to visualize making it. But his idea is that he doesn't want to have a thought for the first time on the mountain. And so he goes through this negative outcome visualization practice so that all of those scary thoughts, all of those scary scenarios are things that have already gone through his head. It's nothing new. And I thought that was really interesting. Uh, Alex is a very interesting guy. He's also good, charismatic, makes good films. I've seen more than one of his films. So the Free Solo is the most famous, but he's done a few other little documentaries, and they've all been really good. I've enjoyed them all that I've seen. So yeah, so I recommend it. I will put that. I will dig that out of the Patreon archives, put it in to the courses. I'll put it into the mindset course and the 4 loop course. So if you are in the Learn to Loop course, you can look for that. I'll put it in the fear section. There is a section on fear in Learn to Loop, and so I'll put it in the fear section, and then in the mindset course, Pro Mindset Secrets, I will also put it in. So I'll do that. It'll take me maybe a day or two to find it in the archives and then put it in there. But thank you, Dom Dom, for bringing that up. It's it's uh it's good. It's good. And so we should pull that out. And I already wrote the analysis, so we might as well use it. If you know anyone that wants to improve on their tax, and why do we want to improve on our tax? The reason to improve on your tax is to catch more waves, stay upwind, be a more confident, better windsurfer. It's one of the moves that separates the experts from the non-experts when it comes to wave sailing. So fast tax, definitely, it's a key move. You notice, you start looking on the beach and seeing who fast tacks or not. It starts to separate people. And same with looping. I think looping is another one of those big borders where once you get over it, you're a looper, and before that, you're just thinking about being a looper. And so it's a real identity thing, and it opens up so much because then suddenly you have this move, this trick, you can feel so confident and cool. And yeah, so anyway, I think it's great to offer this path. So if you know someone that wants to loop or to tack, to be a looper or to be an expert wave sailor, you can send these to them. And then the mindset. So again, the mindset, this is for people who have not done my in-person master classes. It's included mainly in Learn to Loop. So if you're in Learn to Loop, there's not a need to go into the Mindset Secrets course as well. But if you don't want to commit to Learn to Loop and you want to level up your windsurfing, this is the easiest way. Just take this from me. This is the lessons from the pros. You can just absorb those and level up your windsurfing. These are pretty quick to go through, and the impacts are huge. So if you don't want to be a looper, if you don't want to improve your tax, but you do want to be a better windsurfer, check out Pro Mindset Secrets. And if there is a course that you're interested in, if there's a course that you're interested in that I haven't taught here, what is it? Let me know. I am going to be developing some new courses on Maui. Oh yeah, I fly to Maui next week. So the next time you see me, I'll be on Maui. And yeah, so if there's a course, let me know. Let me know what it is. What is in the plan? Like the plan schedule is a wave riding 101 course, how to practice your wave riding when there are no waves course, and then also a when things go wrong course. So dealing with broken gear and emergency situations and drills that you can practice to get you ready so that when things go wrong, you're prepared. We try to do some of this stuff on the in-person master classes, uh, but I think it's a good resource to have out there online. By the way, speaking of in-person master classes, there's one spot left in the Maui Masterclass that starts in 2 weeks. September 13th to 20th. One spot left. So if you're interested in that spot, you can go to windsurfingmasterclass.com, go to apply here, and scroll down to Maui. The form is short, and you can apply. And if you're a good fit, you can take that spot. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Maui is such a good place to windsurf. Maui's probably the best place in the world to windsurf. I'm going to release my schedule for next year. I'm going to try to release it earlier than normal. So I'm going to release the masterclass schedule for in-person masterclasses a little bit earlier. So watch out for that. If there's somewhere that you want to go. So right now, it's probably going to be Morocco, Maui. Maybe if I can make it work to go back to Denmark, I will, because I love Denmark. There's room for one other location. And if you have a suggestion and it fits with my timing, then let me know. I'm totally down to go somewhere else. We had a good time in Gran Canaria this year. So I'm considering that for my fourth spot. But yeah, undecided. All right, everyone. With that, I'm going to sign off. If you know anyone that wants to loop or improve their windsurfing with fast tacks, you know where to send them. And I'll see you all next week, Sunday. I'll be in a completely different location, different time of day. It'll be morning for me. I mean, same time for you, but Maui time, this is the morning. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I'll see you in the Facebook group. In the meantime, post questions, comments, discussion topics, whatever you want, as long as it's about getting off the plateau. All right, guys and gals, have a wonderful week.